Hello and welcome. My name is Ascabina, and in this series I'd like to speak to you about how one can use an old piece of discarded type furniture and turn it around and make it into your own personal Wiccan altar. Now, altars have been used since days of Egyptian times, and they were set up in the manner of which gods and goddesses that they worshipped. And they would be adorned with life-size figurines, statues, candles, incense, baskets of fresh fruits and flowers, all to worship and give thanks to their gods and goddesses for protecting them, allowing a fruitful crop for this season, and so on. And it's still used in almost every religion, but for a Wiccan it has continued on even more so into this century. And for the Wiccan practitioner, the altar is a very personal item, and it has personal space when you're using an altar. Now, the altar is divided into two sides, and I'll go much more into depth later on towards the end of this series. But the left side is the feminine side of the goddess. The right side is the male or the god, just like the yin and the yang. This is my altar, and usually for a solitary practitioner, they usually have small altars. For ones that belong to a coven, the table for the coven is usually much taller and bigger, and probably based upon the size of individuals that make up the coven. Now, this altar I bought years ago, and yes, that is a dragon on there. I do practice with dragon magic. And I will say that the more that you work doing magic, spells, prayers and chants, the worship to your own god and goddess deities, you draw from universal energy and your own energy. And in time, it will take a different, I'm not sure how to say it, but it takes on its own characteristics. Mine, unfortunately, the color of this was much lighter, of a purple, but over the years it has changed because I use it so much at times. It does have cracks on it, and what you really want to do is always keep your altar covered with a cloth of some sort so that it doesn't have candle wax getting on it, or liquids on it, or the dust from incense that you burn on it. But if you have a piece of furniture that was given to you, or you've seen something on the curb from a neighbor's and you've kind of gone over and looked at it, or gone to a thrift store and seen a piece of furniture, and you think, well, I'm kind of drawn to this. What can I really use it for? And that's what I want to go on and do in this series, is to show that you could make your own altar. You can buy altars already made like I did on this. Depending on your own finances, you know what you can and cannot afford. But this was like $60 for this small one right here. But it has served its purpose. I plan on still using it. But I came across a piece of furniture that I thought, I'm really drawn to this, and what can I do with it? And years ago, when I was in the military stationed overseas in Germany, usually at the beginning of each month on the weekends, the Germans would discard old pieces of furniture that they no longer wanted or used. And so, as they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. So one day when I was at the thrift store, one of our local thrift stores, I came across this piece of furniture. And it's, to me, looks like it was used as an old nightstand. And I'm thinking, okay, what can I use this for? I was drawn to it for a reason, and I'm thinking, there's something here, and I'm not. And then all of a sudden, it came to me to be used to make a new altar. And it's small enough for me as a solitary practitioner that I looked at it and I thought, well, okay. So, and I got to looking at it even closer, and what I liked about it was that it does have a drawer, and it's deep enough that I can keep my tools in here, my ritual tools, my candles, my candle holders, my incense, my charcoal, and then it had a place down below that could go on and put books, reference books, Book of Shadows. The only thing was that on the back of it, and I'm going to have to see about, once I get this stripped and everything, about getting a piece of wood and going on and fixing this up here. Because if I don't, then the drawer has a tendency, if you push it too far, it'll come right on out. So that'll be something that I'll have to buy and fix up on the back. So what I'm thinking is, okay, so what do I want to go on and put on this? Well, I should have already known the answer to that. So it was like, it didn't take long. I'm going to go on and put this on here once I have it stripped. And this is just like the one that I drew on to the wand that I made the first wand video about. And so this is what will go on here once I get it stripped. So you're thinking, okay, I've got this old piece of furniture too. How do I get this stuff stripped off? Well, first of all, you're either going to want to work outside in good weather and it's not humid, so that, everything comes off relatively easy. And then if you decide to leave it either natural, or if you want to put another new coat of varnish on it, then you can go on and do that. If it's where you can't go outside because of the rain or the humidity, make sure, first of all, before you work on it, that you can either use big old black garbage bags and then put newspaper on top of that. You can use the drop cloths that you can buy at Walmart for a couple of dollars. Just kind of fold them over, make it kind of doubled, so that when you use the stripping liquid, that it doesn't get on you or possibly ruin anything on the floor. Now, the stripper stuff that I use is this can here, and you can buy it at Walmart. This usually takes it off within about 15 minutes, and you want to put it on light with a brush like this, okay? Depending on how big it is, you might want a bit of a bigger brush, wider, that I mean. You let it set for the 15 minutes. The other thing important is, have a pair of these gloves on when you're working with this stuff. This stuff will burn you if you're not careful, and also please have some eyewear, safety glasses on when you're working with this, in case it kind of flips up and splatters back onto your face. Once this is set, you'll want to get a tool, something similar to this. And this will help go on, and you'll be able to just scrape it off and just let it roll off onto the back of the drop cloth, newspaper, black plastic bag, whatever you're going to use in your protection area there. Once you're finished with it, once you're finished with your brush and everything, you want to get a can or a bottle of this paint thinner. If you got an old coffee can, pour some of that in there, put your brush in, rinse it off real good, and then lay your brush out to air dry until you're ready to continue on to another item or another part of the furniture. The other thing is that you'll want to do is that you'll want to go on and make sure that you've got it all taken off. You'll also want to buy some sandpaper, and depending on, if it needs a whole lot of buffing, you can buy it in small sizes like this. You can buy it in big sheets like this. The one thing you will want to do is make sure that you get a packet that has a variety of sandpaper, because you might need something that's real coarse, you might need something that's real fine, depending on what type of nicks you might have to kind of really go over once you've got the old varnish or paint off. So let's see what each of us can come up with. This is going to be a bit of a longer project than the previous one, but I will go on and work on mine, and hopefully you'll find something that you'll like, and you'll want to work on yours as well, and we'll just kind of check back here within a week or so and see how everybody's doing on their project. So until next time, I wish you all very well. Be safe. Have a blessed week. And for all of you, I am very sorry that this has been such a long, drawn-out thing since my last video. I've had some other issues come up, and I've had to move. So I'm hoping that I can get back in and start making some more videos here shortly. So please feel free to check back once I've got this project underway and see how it turns out at the end. So, like I said, until next time, everybody please be safe, and I wish you all a very blessed week. Thank you.